Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. We, Group 3 from class FC2, will be presenting you a video entitled Antidote, which revolves around the concept of chemical warfare between crazy ants and fire ants. This video is under the topic Amine for course Chemistry 4 under course code FAD1008. So these are the names of our team members. Our team consists of 5 members with our leader, FATIHA SYUHADA. Hi, I'm NURIZZ and I'll be giving you some introduction to our video and also a little bit of glimpse on what our video will be about. So our team were asked to explain the chemistry of the warfare between these two ant species, which is fire ants and also crazy ants. But let's get to know this species of ants first. So what is fire ants? This is how fire ants looks like. Fire ants are red and black in coloration, and like all insects, they are protected by a hard exoskeleton and have 6 legs. Their head is typically copper brown in color. Let's get to know more about this interesting ant. Why do these fire ants are considered dangerous? This is because fire ants attack small animals and kill them. They will bite and inject toxic alkaloid venom called solenopsin. So what is solenopsin generally? It is a type of amine. It is also considered the primary toxin in the venom and may be the component responsible for the cardiorespiratory failure in people who experience excessive fire ant stings, and is also an example of neurotoxin. Fire ant venom contains other chemically related piperidins, which makes purification of solenopsin from fire ants difficult to happen. Now, let's move on to crazy ant. This ant is about 3 millimeters long, making it smaller than the red imported fire ant. It is covered with reddish-brown hairs. Their larvae are plump and also hairy, with a specific conformation of mouthparts and unique mandible morphology that allows for precise species identification. So next, why are these crazy ants are considered dangerous? This is because they tend to fight for honeydew. They feed on small insects and vertebrates, and they also forage on plants, especially for sweet materials. When they are under attack, these ants, like other formicine ants, will bite but not sting and excrete formic acid through a hairy circle or acidopore on the end of the abdomen, using it as a venom. This venom will cause immediate pain that will quickly fade. These venom alkaloids of crazy ants have been demonstrated to be strongly paralytic against other competitor species. Thus, these thorny crazy ants will develop a resistance by acid immobilization of the venom toxins. So what is formic acid generally? It is a type of carboxylic acid, specifically methanoic acid. It is a colorless liquid that has a pungent and penetrating odor. In lab experiments, exposed crazy ants that were allowed to detoxify themselves had a 98% survival rate. This chemical counterweapon makes crazy ants nearly invincible in skirmishes with fire ants over food resources and nesting sites. So now that we get to know a little bit of crazy ants and also fire ants, we have to keep in mind throughout the video that the formic acid secreted from crazy ants can overtake the solenopsin secreted by the fire ants. This is a reaction between an amine, which is the solenopsin, and also carboxylic acid, which is the formic acid.
Next, the objective of this video is that firstly, we wanted to study about the structure of the solenopsin and formic acid. Secondly, we wanted to study about physical properties of solenopsin. Thirdly, and lastly, we wanted to study about reaction of solenopsin and formic acid.
Now, we are going to study the structure of both solenopsin and formic acid. Firstly, Solanopsin is a lipophilic alkaloid with the molecular formula of C17H35N, found in the venom of fire ants, also known as Solanopsis invicta. It is a major pest in the United States, infesting more than 290 million acres. The ant is capable of multiple stings and secretes venom that consists of the alkaloid solanopsin and venom proteins. Repeated stings can cause death to animals and humans through a direct action of the alkaloid or allergic reaction to the protein. Structurally, solanopsins are a piperidine ring with a methyl group located at carbon number 2 and a long hydrophobic chain at carbon number 6. That is why its IUPAC name is trans-2-methyl-6-undecyl piperidine. Secondly, formic acid. So formic acid has the IUPAC name of metanoic acid. It is the simplest carboxylic acid and it has the molecular formula of HCOOH.
For solubility, like alcohols, all amines including tertiary amines are capable of forming hydrogen bond. Amines with low molecular masses tend to be soluble in hydroxylic solvents such as water and alcohol molecules. Solubility decreases with increasing molecular masses due to increase in hydrophobic area. So, for the last one is basicity of amines. The presence of lone pair of electron on the nitrogen atom makes amines both basic and nucleophilic. Amines can accept proton or react with other electrophiles. So most of aliphatic amines behave as a slightly stronger base than ammonia. This is because the alkyl group is an electron-releasing group, and it stabilizes the alkyl ammonium ion formed by dispersing its positive charge. This is called inductive effects. Then, secondary alkyl amines is expected to be stronger bases than primary alkyl amines. This is because addition of alkyl group decrease the number of water molecules that can approach and solvate the ion. This is called solvation effect. For aromatic amines, there are resonance effects and hybridization effects. For resonance effect, the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom are delocalized together with the p electron and making it less available for protonation. For hybridization effect, non-bonding electrons are more tightly held in the orbital.
Okay, so next is the reaction between solanopsin and formic acid. So it is basically a simple chemistry reaction which is acid and base reaction. So the solanopsin from the fire ants is a base and the formic acid from the crazy ants is an acid. So these two molecules will react and form solanopsinium cation and formic ion, which is ionic molecule. So this solanopsinium cation is formed when the nitrogen from solanopsin gets protonated, and this formic ion is formed when the formic acid is deprotonated and lost hydrogen. So it will form these two ion and form ionic molecule. So this ionic molecule is less lipophilic, which is less soluble in fats, making the ionic molecule cannot penetrate the crazy ant cells. That's why the crazy ants is not affected by the solanopsin from the fire ants. Now that we are almost reaching the end of our video, we can conclude that firstly, the IUPAC name of solanopsin known as trans-2-methyl-6-undecyl piperidine, while formic acid is metanoic acid. Second, this reaction of solanopsin and formic acid is the sample of acid and base reaction. I guess That's all from us. Thank you.